always say, every day is for the thief, one day for the owner of the house. But ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, has reversed the role. It is now every day for the owner of the house. If you're involved in bribery, over-invoicing, or any shady deal, the day of reckoning has come. ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission, is watching you. If you're reported for any corrupt practice, you'll be investigated, prosecuted, and punished. Corruption is harmful to our nation. Join the campaign against it by reporting any corrupt practice to ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Let we join hands with ICPC, make them better.
Let's make Nigeria great again.
ICPC, they watch you.
One hand for corruption.
Break the chain of corruption now. Don't give, don't take. This message is brought to you by ICPC, the Anti-Corruption Commission.
Welcome to Corruption Must Go, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiayi. The Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria is an anti-graft institution whose purpose is centered on enhancing a multidisciplinary approach to the fight against corruption through training, research, documentation, and advisory services. Located in Kefi, Nasarawa State, the Academy was established to offer capacity building with the necessary skills to identify and combat corrupt practices and other related offenses. Today's edition focuses on the Anti-Corruption Academy of Nigeria and its function in driving the National Anti-Corruption Project. First, let's join Ruth Awodi with Anti-Corruption Stories.
Thank you for joining us. I am Ruth Awodi with Anti-Corruption Stories. The chairman of ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, SAN, has pledged to work in synergy with the Voice of Nigeria, VON, to expand anti-corruption sensitization to every nook and cranny in Nigeria. He made this known when the Director General of VON, Malam Jibrin Baba Ndashe, led a team of the organization's management staff to ICPC headquarters on a courtesy visit. Welcoming the visiting party, Dr. Aliyu stressed that public enlightenment was a core pillar of the preventive mandate of the Commission.
And also one of the areas where the mandate which we have is the issue of public enlightenment education, and your platform is a program we can use. People need to know what we do. We shouldn't rely on speaking to our people in a foreign language, because we need to talk to them in the language they understand. Because it doesn't mean that because somebody in the street, somebody who is in Accra, or somebody who is pushing people will not help you. He may give you certain information if he knows what you are doing. But if we neglect them, we will continue working, we don't know what you are doing. While they can help us with information, and also they need to know what ICPC is doing. And they can only understand if you talk them their language.
In his remarks, the DG of VON stated that the visit was a testament to their willingness to build on the solid foundation laid by our forefathers. Malam Ndashe, while commending the good work of ICPC, stressed that no MDA should be tentative about telling their success stories and insisted that the mandate of VON remained to tell Nigeria and Africa's story to the world.
Good work that you do here. We're willing to partner with you, to collaborate with you, to create more public awareness. Because what people see about ICPC, and as a reporter, I've had the cause to tell people, I say what you see about ICPC is when arrests are made and all that, but they do a lot in terms of sensitizing people about even not getting involved in corruption at all. But people don't see that. It's one arrest, no. Arrest is almost the end when other efforts are made, and then the arrest. But a lot of sensitization, I know I've participated in many, in all the geopolitical zone and even at the headquarters. So we want to support you, Chair, in all that you are doing so that you can consolidate. we need to even create the right public perception about our country. Doing that requires that we are able to create positive narrative about our country, not always the negative, the misinformation and disinformation about our own country.
He pled the support of his media organization to the Commission as he informed ICPC to see the broadcasting institution as a partner. And from our Lagos State Office, ICPC has re-inaugurated the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit Act 2 of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency in NIMASA, in a bid to fortify ethical standards and pursue the organization's objectives with integrity. Speaking during the re-inauguration ceremony, Mr. Kabir Elelu, Resident Anti-Corruption Commissioner, ICPC Lagos State Office, emphasized the pivotal role of Act 2 in fostering positive work ethics within NIMASA. He underscored the importance of instilling values necessary for achieving the agency's goals, highlighting the Act 2's capacity to identify and address corruption concerns effectively. Delivering a lecture titled Entrenching Integrity, Transparency and Accountability in the Workplace, staff of ICPC Mrs. Rabiat Umar emphasized the significance of upholding ethical principles both within the workplace and in the personal lives of staff, urging them to reject corruption as the norm and instead embrace integrity, honesty and accountability. Mrs. Aisha Idris, the newly appointed chairperson of NIMASA's Act 2, affirmed her commitment to upholding the unit's mandate. She pledged to adhere to established protocols, working diligently to minimize corruption within the agency. That will be all on this segment. Corruption Must Go continues with Mona. Stay with us.
Fellow Nigerians, do you know that constituency projects are actually your projects? Do you know that constituency projects are funded by the federal government? Do you know that you can track release of constituency project funds for projects located in your constituency and follow up to know how they have been executed? Constituency projects happen because government does not want to leave any community out in development efforts. You have a responsibility to know what constituency project has been planned for your community, how much has been allocated for it, and whether value for money has been delivered. Take ownership of constituency projects located in your community. Protect them because they belong to you. Government knows about your needs and is planning for you. Government needs your help to ensure quality delivery. Know that constituency projects are actually your projects. Protect your constituency project. My constituency, my project.
For information on funds allocated to projects in your constituency, call 0800 2255 4272.
This message is from the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission and the National Orientation Agency.
ACAN is a crucial part of the anti-corruption process of ICPC. It is the academy that seeks to entrench the basics of fighting corruption while simultaneously developing the physical and mental capacity of attendees to combat corruption in whatever shape it takes instinctively. Let's listen to the acting director of ACAN, Mr. Richard Bello, as he tells us about the training plans of the institution for the new year.
Okay, as you would know, ACAN programs are not just taught out. They are oftentimes as a result of requests from maybe the general public, responses from the questionnaires we get from participants, and sometimes solicitations from members of the general public, MDAs, and even the private sector. So, based on the analysis of our programs for last year, we Last year we introduced a particular program, strategic communication. That was the first time ACAN held that program. We intend to continue this year. And then over time we've discovered that, as society evolves, so should our programs be targeted at them. So for our leadership programs, we have two leadership programs. Okay, one is Anti-Corruption Leadership Academy, the other is a senior executive course in organizational integrity management. Over the period, we've just been making some adjustments to those programs. And we found that some people will say they had attended the program before. But of course, every program comes with different perspectives, different dimensions, different approaches. Since we have more facilitators, they come with different views. But more importantly, for this year, we have decided to use our leadership programs to target, leaders in society. So we have specified themes this time around, not just the general things. We have specified themes for each year. Okay, and apart from this, we have other programs. We intend to reach out to the tertiary institutions this year, the colleges of education, the polytechnics, as well as the universities. Corruption is not limited to just the general MDAs. And then this year we're also rounding off the MacArthur grants. So we still have some items, some schedule in the grant. We are still going to, like I mentioned, reach out to the traditional institutions, civil society, and all that. We are also going to do a lot of programs and then round up the program hopefully second quarter of this year.
Welcome back. This is Corruption Must Go. Corruption is a dynamic menace, and as a result, there is a constant need for innovative measures to take advantage of technological advancement and changing times. The Academy is tasked with the responsibility of coming up with groundbreaking course contents that help the staff of the Commission and other attendees refine their tools and, where necessary, reinvent to ensure success in eradicating corrupt practices. The Provost of ACAN, Professor Babawale Olatunde, has so far overseen the affairs of the Academy and ensured that it remains a front bearer in equipping attendees with the necessary skills to effectively combat corruption. Our crew spoke with him to discuss the highlights of the previous year as well as the mission of the institution for 2024. Take a listen.
So in 2023, we were able to do a lot of training programs for public officers across the broad spectrum of ministries, departments, and agencies. And I think at the last count, we trained close to about 3,000 people. What is most important is also that we were lucky some 3 years ago to have benefited from a research grant which was given to the academy through the commission by the MacArthur Foundation. And that grant was meant to ensure that we promote the new perspective of how we can address the problem of corruption through using a behavior change approach. That necessitated our having to train the chief executive officers of government ministries, departments, and agencies, and that we did successfully in 2023. We were also mandated through that project to work hand in hand with officials of other anti-corruption agencies and train them in the area of how to develop strategies for implementing the National Ethics and Integrity Policy, which was the baby of the ICPC and the National Orientation Agency. We did the normal open training that we normally do, as well as bespoke or specialized training requested by government agencies and organizations, even private. Again, what was striking about what we did last year is the fact that we stepped up our program, which we call Policy Dialogue, where we invite stakeholders to come and discuss topical issues that have to do with corruption. We held 2 of such programs, one in August last year, which is about corruption, social norms, and behavior change in Nigeria. The second one was to talk about corruption and living wages in Nigeria. Of course, as you know, since late last year, after we held that conference, the idea of living wages has become very topical, which is something that is dominating the discourse on minimum wage. The conclusion is that instead of government to keep talking about minimum wage, why don't we talk about a living wage, which helps us to avoid the rancor that attained frequent agitations for minimum wage by labor. Having said all that, I think that this year we are taking it a step further. We are going to step up our training for chief executive officers of government agencies and departments so that they can adopt this behavior change approach to address the issue of corruption in their various organizations, and then cascade the training down to their subordinates. What is new that we want to introduce this year are 2 big projects. The first has to do with the international conference that we are organizing in July, which is going to be used to mark the AU Anti-Corruption Day in July this year. We will step up the policy dialogue. The first that we are coming with this year, which we had planned since last year, I must say, would have to do with corruption and the budgetary process. How can we sanitize the process of budgeting? How can we remove the impurities of padding, the impurities of corruption from the budgetary process? This is what, and we are going to invite the legislature, the executive, and every stakeholder to come and discuss how we can make the budgeting process better so that it can benefit the larger majority of our people. We are also introducing the idea of using communication tools to spread the anti-corruption gospel. How do we do it? We now have to do like even the ICPC is doing. We want to introduce drama sketches, skits that will be broadcast on television. We also introduce radio jingles this year. And this is in addition to our regular programs, training programs for public officers, for public servants, for agencies of government, for organizations that are interested, which is regular. They often subscribe. We have already publicized our calendar, and government agencies are already expressing interest, which we call the open training. And especially the focus on the anti-corruption and transparency units in the various ministries, departments, and agencies. We have 2 major training programs that are lined out for them. It is interesting to say that we are going to talk about administrative measures for controlling corruption in the workplace. We are going to talk about how to take corruption out of procurement. We are going to talk about how to train our own staff and staff of other anti-corruption agencies in the area of corruption investigation, corruption prevention. How we are going to train them in ethics and compliance. These are trainings that will dominate our program and activities this year.
anti-corruption member of my school. Of course, I listen to my teachers. I am an anti-corruption club member. Of course, I'm always punctual. I'm an anti-corruption club member. Of course, I'm an ambassador against corruption. I'm an anti-corruption club member. Of course, integrity is my watchword.
I'm an anti-corruption club member. Of course, I do not engage in courtesy.
I'm a member of my school anti-corruption club. Of course, I don't engage in examination of practice.
Mr. Richard Bello, the acting director of ACAN, discusses some of the key areas that ACAN is targeting to revolutionize the war against corruption. Take a listen.
You are familiar with the current trends in society now. You find youths going into Yahoo and all that. Some of them want to make money quick. So issues around cryptocurrency is trending now, and we've decided to take the initiative to, train our audience in this area. We've started with staff of ICPC, and we intend to take that down to the general public. We're also looking at anti-money laundering, countering of terrorism financing, and combating the proliferation of firearms. In fact, currently, there's a training going on for investigators in the commission. That is not just meeting GAIABA requirements, but it's something that we intend to escalate to other anti-corruption agencies and indeed the general public. So we are not leaving any stone unturned. We're also taking advantage of our ability to conduct our training programs on dual mode. So it is not until you come to the academy physically, you can also take advantage of our joining our programs remotely. And we recorded quite some success in this direction. So we intend to leverage all these opportunities to take the academy to the next step.
The war on corruption remains a joint effort. It is important that all hands are on deck to eradicate corruption and achieve a society rooted firmly in integrity. This is all we can take on today's program. Do not forget to join us next week on Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. for another edition of Corruption Must Go. You can also watch missed editions on www.youtube.com/ICPC Nigeria. Stay safe and remember that corruption is evil. Bye for now. I am Murna Barnabas Atiai.